Hello friends, hello and welcome back to our little coffee club. And today we're gonna review a coffee from Good Brothers. We have a new one here from Good Brothers, Colombia Finca Las Flores. So I don't wanna read too much into it because I don't wanna read the tasting notes, and you know how we always like to guess at them. But we're gonna go with the usual workflow. I'm not gonna get into all the details. I have already made plenty of videos. Today we're gonna try to move things along so it doesn't become another 1 hour marathon. If I chance of that happening, it probably will, but we'll see. Anyway, okay, I have these coffees up here because I wanted to update you on the Ritual coffee. So the Ritual coffee, you know, I've already brewed it like maybe 3 or 4 times. And I have to say, from the ones I brought back from the Bay Area, this is my favorite one. It's better than the side glass ones, at least this particular one. I already have a review on it on the channel, but I did want to report back to you guys. Now, one thing about this coffee is that you're gonna have to brew it longer than a lot of other coffees. I did try to speed it up and brewed it on the origami like I had told you guys I was gonna try. So I gotta say, I liked it better when I brewed it for longer. So, you know, in the origami, it was like I don't remember, I logged it down, but it must have been like at least like a 7-minute brew. I mean, on the origami, that's super slow. Usually my brew time is half of that, like 3.5 to 4 minutes, maybe 4.5 minutes on the origami. But I gotta say, when I sped it up and I did a faster brew, I didn't like it as much. So, you know, you guys saw the small batch we made on the Tricolate when we first reviewed it, and it brewed for a really long time. And it ended up delicious, really, really good. We had an awesome espresso shot from it as well. So this is one of those rare ones that I kind of liked it equally for both espresso and pour over. That's a rarity. We'll see what happens today with the Good Brothers. But anyway, I wanted to report back to you guys. Oh, and I have this one up here for the following reason. So is this one as good as this one? Not to me, not quite. This is still the #1 and probably the best coffee I've ever had. This is just absolutely delicious to me for some reason. This one is also from Good Brothers. Let me put on my glasses so I could see that. Okay, this is the Costa Rica. The flavor notes, raspberry, mandarin, and sugar. Okay, and I think something particular about this one is this processing method. They used a thermical fermentation. So this thermical fermentation maybe does something that I really enjoy. I don't know. As soon as I ever find one again with this kind of processing method, I'm gonna buy it and see if maybe it has something to do with the processing method. But there's something to it. This is just absolutely delicious. The sweetness, it's just so interesting. So much depth to this coffee with all the flavors, that it just, for me, it worked perfect. Oh, but and again, you know what? As espresso, just espresso, I actually like the Ritual one better as espresso. But as pour over, this is still the #1. It's still the #1. But for espresso, I kind of like this one a bit better. I don't know what it was, but that's the way it turned out. Anyway, you guys know my preferences for espresso. I like more of a traditional flavor when I'm gonna mix it with milk. And I also enjoy that as straight shots as well. But for straight shots, I gotta say, I do enjoy the brightness and the acidity from some of these new school coffees, 3rd wave, 4th wave, or whatever it is we're into. Anyway, no more chit chatting. Let's get right into it. Let's dose out 10 grams for making a small batch on the Tricolate. Again, 10 grams in, 170 grams out, so a 1:17 ratio, that's what we go for. And normally we get that in about 4 minutes, but you guys saw with this one, it took 7 minutes and it was absolutely delicious. So, all right, without further ado, let's get to the other counter and brew some of this coffee. All right, so that Good Brothers, man, I gotta say, they're doing something right over there. Let's see what this one has to offer us. Okay, again, these Good Brother bags are probably my favorite ones. You know, these bags, if you plan to go through your coffee I'd say like within a month. You're perfectly fine just leaving it in here, maybe even longer than that. But usually my coffees don't last that long. Although I gotta say, right now, I've had some for quite a while because I have so much coffee that I'm trying to go through. But anyway, let's get this open and those are our 10 grams. Okay, and another thing is the shape of, the shape of it to kind of dose out. It's just easier than some other bags that they just don't make the little scoop, So on these, it just works out perfectly. Okay, we went a little over. Oh, wow. Okay, I took out these many beans, ended up exactly 10 grams. I'm gonna check retention for you guys. That's the best part of the video. That's what I've been told. So no worries, we will be checking retention. Where do I put the bag that you could still, maybe up here. All right, guys, I gotta be able to access my kettle. Okay, my espresso machine already timed out. Get it going again. Okay, let's grind 10 grams. Okay, so once again, we're gonna grind on the Easy Presso K Plus. I use the K Plus model. We are right on the 7, so 70 clicks on the K Plus. We got 10 grams. Let me take a picture of this before I grind it so I could show you guys the roast level. All right, that should be focused right there. You guys could see the roast level, medium to light, I'm gonna call it. I'm gonna check retention for you guys, although you guys know on the hand grinder, there's pretty much no such thing, but we will check it anyway. So you know what, before grinding the coffee, what I'm gonna do is start warming everything up. So I'm gonna warm the brewer, rinse the filter. Okay, I got the filter in there. So let's go ahead and give everything a rinse. Okay. All right, we're gonna put this off to the side so it can start getting warmed up. Okay, I should have my 10 grams right there, exactly 10 grams. Just put it in here, and then once we grind it, we'll reweigh this and we should have 10 grams. Okay, we're grinding at 7, only 10 grams, so it should be really fast. Yeah, this roast, I gotta say, is probably closer to a medium because that was quite easy to grind. And the lighter the roast, the harder it becomes to grind the coffee. Okay, let me empty this out. Okay, once again, I'm gonna brew right into my Storyville little mug. Okay, always check your filter. Make sure that it's still lying flat on the bottom of the brewer. Wow, I'm so not used to checking retention for you guys on this that I almost forgot, but it's still in here. Make sure, like I said, I always tap it a couple times like this and spin it. Make sure there's nothing stuck in there. And then we should weigh this. And it's exactly 10 grams, guys. That's why I don't check retention on the K Plus. Because I'm not sure if all hand grinders are like that, but at least on the K Plus, you always end up with whatever you put in is what you end up with. So the retention is not a thing. I imagine on most hand grinders, but definitely on the K Plus, it's not a thing. You grind 10 grams, you're gonna get 10 grams out. Okay, let me set up the camera again. Well, I almost forgot to check the retention, and I know how everybody loves that. But again, on the pour overs, since I use the K Plus, I usually don't check it. Another thing I've been doing is always doing like WDT in whatever receptacle I used to grind the coffee into, since You know, it helps to declump things already before you even put it into the brewer. Wow, I don't know if it's the fact that it's kind of like a weird time for a brew for me. It's like mid-morning. You know, I always wake up super early. I've been up for hours. So it feels like it's the afternoon, but it's like mid-morning. And I'm doing like a mid-morning brew. I always do my afternoon brews. And I don't know if that's throwing me off, but I don't know. Hang in there with me, guys. All right, you know, I just want to keep you guys company and spend a little time talking to you guys. And again, the whole coffee brewing is just a simple thing, something that's relaxing. And it's just a little hobby that you can practice on a daily basis. Okay, so I have my cup empty. My brewer has a flat filter. Put my coffee in there. Okay, nothing stayed in there. Put this off back here. I kind of have to set things up a certain way because if whatever's like closest to the camera's gonna try to focus on it, and then you know, focusing is challenging because a lot of times it just focuses on the espresso machine, it focuses on whatever it wants, although it's supposed to focus on whatever's in front of it, like closest to it. Okay, let me first, I see that the coffee didn't land properly in there, so let me kind of make it nice and even. You know, we've been having some really good brews with these small batches, like 10 grams of coffee, 170 out, and it's been working really well. I mean, we keep getting tasty cup after tasty cup. I don't know if it's luck, but we haven't had a lot of channeling. It's just it's been working out pretty good. Okay, so now we're gonna zero everything out. We're gonna start the timer. Again, we wanna finish in probably around 4 minutes. Usually that's where it's at. Although last time, 7 minutes or so. I don't remember exactly, but I think it was like 7 minutes and it ended up delicious. The Tricolate, it is very forgiving as far as the brew time. Sometimes you get like a faster brew and it's really good, and you get a slower one and it's also really good. Definitely, you know, espresso's a different game. Espresso, you have to be pretty spot on in order to get a nice shot. But with pour overs, you have a lot more flexibility. It's a lot easier to learn and get into. Okay, so I'm gonna start the timer and we're gonna go with this. We're gonna go with the 70 grams bloom. With the Tricolate, you don't have to like really control the, you know, how the water's landing in there, because it has the little screen to disperse the water evenly. All right, I got 73 grams in there. And now you guys know how I've been doing the wet WDT, where you go in and kind of move the grounds. The whole point is to move the grounds around, make sure everything's getting saturated at the same time in here, that there's no dry spots. Okay, that drained quite fast, so I think we might have to do some agitation today. I didn't even get to really like move everything around properly. Okay. All right, we're up to a minute, guys. We're up to a minute. I'm moving slow. Okay, so now we go another 100 grams till it gets to 170. Okay, a little bit more. All right, 170.6. Okay, since we're done with the hot water, we could turn this off. Gonna just try to do some more of this. Okay. And again, what I always do is just shake it around like this. Usually we get a nice flat bed. Just shake it around a little bit. Okay, I think we're gonna finish way fast. This thing is it's almost done. And we're at 2.5 minutes. I never had such a fast brew from the Tricolate. You know, the Tricolate is probably like the slowest, well, I shouldn't say that, but it is one of the slowest brewers out there. And it has its, its purpose. Okay, wow, we're calling this, it's not even 3 minutes, it's 2:50. 2:50, this thing is done. I have a feeling I'm gonna have to make another one. Wow, it's funny how, it changes so much from one coffee to another. I think I don't remember what I ground the one from Ritual at last time, but wow, that took 7 minutes or something like that to brew, and I'm pretty sure it was fairly a similar number to what we just did now. And look at this one, it's just so different. But anyway, let's see how it tastes. I did end up getting a really nice flat bed of coffee at the bottom. If we got a good extraction, it might actually be really good. All right, here's another thing. With the Tricolate, you always want to stir up your coffee, because it's going to settle to the bottom because it takes long to brew. Although right now, probably didn't even have to stir it. But all right, let's give it a taste test, and if it's good, we'll go to the other counter. If not, I'll brew another one. Wow, that is different. I gotta say, oh my goodness. All right, we're gonna go to the other counter and talk about this cup. This is pretty interesting. All right, guys, cheers. I hope that you're brewing something tasty as well, and that you're joining me here. Right away, I gotta say, this coffee has a very interesting aroma. I don't know what it is, but wow, I would say it's like some kind of citrus. You just cut it and opened it, and I don't know which one. It's definitely, maybe like an orange. This has a very strong aroma, and I'm gonna say it's like some kind of citrus, maybe an orange. Wow, this is it's another good one. It's another good one. It's very interesting, very interesting. Definitely doesn't have the sweetness of the Costa Rica one. And again, it could have something to do with the way I brewed it. It was a very fast brew. I'm getting a lot of brightness and acidity, but not as much as you would think. I have a feeling if I brew this really slow, it's gonna give me a whole bunch of sweetness. Because it does have the acidity, and it's front and present, the acidity and the brightness, but not a lot, not what you would think. This is still very balanced. It has the sweetness. It has that great aroma. Wow, the way it brewed, I'm gonna say it's a citrusy coffee, some kind of citrus. Definitely like a, oh man. Wow, this is very good, very good. It doesn't have the sweetness and the depth, if that's even a thing. I don't know, like the depth of flavor as the Costa Rica. That's still that's still the number one. It's still on a level of its own. But this is very interesting and different. I can't wait to read the tasting notes. I'm gonna say it does have a sweetness, some kind of fruity sweetness. I'm not gonna say a sugar note or anything like that. And to me, it's citrusy and smells like an orange. I could have it all wrong, oh my goodness. One of these days I'm gonna get it so wrong. But you know what? It's different for everyone. And when you brew it from brew to brew, you're gonna experience something different. So that's what I'm getting right now. I have no idea. Man, that aroma definitely adds something. With the one from Ritual, it had almost no aroma. Just doesn't have a lot of smell. Great flavor. It's super good. I just said it. It's super good coffee. This one, a bunch of aroma. Flavor wise, I like the Costa Rica one more. It's more interesting, more depth of flavors and sweeter. But let's read the tasting notes. Let's read the taste. This is super good. And well, definitely that the aroma adds a bunch, and it's one of the most aromatic coffees I've ever had. Okay, let's read it again. Okay, so Colombia Finca Las Flores. Red, that word, Bourbon. Bourbon, I think you pronounce it Bourbon, natural. So it's a natural processed coffee. Bourbon is the varietal. All right, so here we go with the tasting notes. By the way, it was roasted April 5th, and we are like middle of May. So I don't know, like a month and a half, perfectly okay. You know, it's perfectly fine. It was in a sealed bag. And again, these bags are super good. You could just keep your coffee in here and makes your life easy, especially if you have a bunch like I do. All right, here we go. Dragon fruit. Okay, dragon fruit. Oh, okay, that's that red, or there's red ones and there's yellow ones. Actually, a dragon fruit is the fruit of a cactus. But I've had dragon fruit, and to me, dragon fruit tastes something like kiwi. And I don't know if that's what I'm getting here. Let me. Now it's suggested, so of course I'm gonna see that. I'm still gonna call it citrus. Let's read on. Red fruit. You know, I always hear about red fruit. I hear all the time red fruit. I haven't looked that up, but I don't know what red fruit is. So if you guys know, comment below. If not, I'm gonna look it up. So red fruit. Okay, dragon fruit, red fruit, and papaya. Papaya is definitely a sweet fruit. I am getting some sweetness. I bet you if I brew it slower, the flavor profile is going to drift to something a little bit different. But right now, I'm not getting any of these things. It's wonderful as far as the aroma is. It's incredible. It's really good. And flavor-wise, it's somewhat citrusy. You do have some brightness and acidity, but not a lot. Like I said, and it is balanced with some sweetness. Well, yeah, it's great. I gotta say, I'm gonna enjoy this as well. I got some good coffees here now. I wonder what we're gonna get out of it as espresso. But let me finish this, and in a second, I'll meet you guys back at the other counter and we'll pull a shot. All right, so we have a little bit different video workflow here for you guys. You know, let me show you guys this, but I went through this trouble. I hope this video is well received. I hope that you guys, that it was worth the trouble. But again, I want to set up the video so that you guys could see everything while I'm pulling the shot, right? I want you to be able to see the shot timer is going to be right there. I want you to be able to see these gauges with the pressure, the pump pressure. And then look what I had to do over here. I've always had this tripod, but you see it there. Look at how I have that thing on there. It's a tiny camera because, again, this is the camera I used to record. This little camera is the one I used to record this angle here, right? When I'm down here. All right, when I'm down here, that's that camera. Then I have the GoPro that records me talking because I just like the audio from it better, okay? And then this camera here with this angle. So now I have the phone. The phone's gonna record this angle, okay? What I'm using to record this clip with. So the phone's gonna record that angle. Then I have my little camera that usually records that angle up here, kind of looking down. But the reason why I have to use this camera is because it has a good zoom lens and I can get a nice shot of the pressure gauge so that you guys can see what I'm doing. I hope this doesn't go all wrong, and which it probably will, but anyway, we'll see what happens. I hope it was worth the trouble. I do have another bigger camera, which is the one I use for photography, and for some of the, like if I want shallow depth of field, I have to use the other camera. But the thing is that the other camera, the autofocus is really, it's really old. doesn't have good autofocus. I cannot use it to make these videos. It just stays focused on one thing. So that's why if I want it just on a steady shot and I want to get shallow depth of field, I can use it and it looks great. It looks fantastic. But if you need it to kind of focus on different things, that's when it's not gonna work. So anyway, let's do some. So I'm gonna record with the phone here. I wonder how this is all gonna work out. Anyway, let me set this thing up and then we'll do some puck prep. Okay, so I wonder how my phone is gonna do with this whole process, and if I'm not gonna mess everything up. Besides that, we haven't dialed this in, so this could end up being a really long video if I don't get this. And of course, as luck will have it, today is gonna take like 10 shots to get it dialed in. So far with the Bianca, I only messed up one shot, and I think it was because of my own puck prep. I think my puck prep was all off and it channeled all over the place, and it was just a really fast shot, but there was no reason for that to have happened. I've pulled like 10 shots on the Bianca and only one bad one. My very first one ever, I did a video just about that, so look it up here on the channel, and it turned out great, and I completely guessed at the grind size. So today we're gonna go and grind it at 11 because it's what we've been at with the Bianca. But again, due to the fact that I can do some pressure profiling, maybe we could save the shot even if it's completely off. So we'll see. Let's start at 11. We'll do 18 grams in. And again, I always go somewhere between usually 45 to 50 grams out. So roughly a 1-to-3 ratio, 1 to 2.5, 1 to 3, somewhere in there. So let's go ahead and dose out 18 grams and we'll grind on the niche at 11. Again, I can't really see the screen because I'm using the back camera of the phone to record, so I hope things are focused and everything looks fine. We'll see. It's an experiment. Okay, 18 grams. Okay, we're at 18.4, a little bit less. Okay, 18 grams. Well, it's between 18 and 18.1. So I'll check retention for you guys in a second. So if we get 18 out or 18.1 out, it's pretty much what we put in. So first time getting this clip for you guys with the phone. We'll see how it looks. Wow, these bees are fighters. They are fighters. Oh, Iceman, by the way, I ordered my little plunger, so in case something gets, I can always use it if it's off. The plunger's coming in. It hasn't come in yet. Okay, so you guys see it, 17.9. We had just a tiny retention. Again, if I'm off by 0.1, 0.2, I don't worry about it. If it goes beyond that, like to 0.3 or 0.4, then that's when I'm gonna use the little plunger. 0.1, 0.2, I don't even worry about it. So let's do some puck prep. Okay, so again, I've been starting lately by doing some WDT right in the whatever it is I ground into. I've heard some people say that that's a pretty good practice and it's pretty simple, so why not do it? Okay, the machine has been on for like, well, I don't know, like I'm probably more than an hour now. So it's timed out already a couple times and it's super hot. Everything's really hot. Be careful touching any of these metallic parts. Okay, so we are at 11. We gotta hope for the best. My little dosing funnel. Do some WDT, distribute. Start from the bottom, making circles, and then go all the way up. At the end, just even things out. Again, puck prep is very important. I mean, that's what I was telling you guys just now, that The only bad shot that so far I've gotten out of the Bianca and I wasn't able to save it was just horrible puck prep, and it must have fallen apart and channeled everywhere, and the shot like went super fast. Okay, so tap it down a couple times. We tamp. Again, this tamper's been a game changer for me. With the little Breville tamper, somehow I just couldn't get a hold of it, so I couldn't tamp on it right. Okay, we have a puck screen so that we could keep things clean. Basically, that's all it is for. So that kind of helps the coffee to not come up into the group head of the machine, and for the puck never to stick to the shower screen. So basically, that's all it does. I don't think it does anything to the actual shot. Okay, we're locked in. Let me change the angle here and let's see if this works out. Okay, hopefully you guys could see well there. Let me get the other camera ready. Okay, again, we start with the paddle kind of like at 5 o'clock, the way you see it there. I kind of have to be a little bit in the way. Maybe I can do it this way, but again, oh my goodness. We'll see what happens here, guys. Again, an experiment. You put the scale in here. Yeah, you can still see, I have to look at the angle here. Yeah, you can still see everything there. Okay, we start the scale. We are at 5 o'clock. Get my shot glass in here. Okay, now we should be able to start pulling the shot. Again, we're gonna try for that Slayer shot. We'll talk about it a little bit more as soon as I get back to the other counter. As soon as I start building pressure, I have to work with the paddle to not let it go past 3 bars. Okay, all right, I'm around 2.5. I'm gonna leave it there, 2.5 bars. Okay, now I'm gonna increase the pressure. Okay, so it was about a 20 to 25 second pre-infusion. Now we're gonna ramp up to 9 bar. There we have it. And as soon as we hit our yield, we're looking for 45 to 50 grams, then I stop the shot. Okay, we're almost there. Okay, 45.4. The actual from first drip, it was 22 seconds. The whole shot, 42 seconds. So this is a proper Slayer shot, okay? Towards the lower end of the scale as far as timing, you know, we could extend this to maybe a minute, maybe even a little bit longer, but usually between a total of 40 seconds and 60 seconds, with half of that being pre-infusion, it's, you know, pretty much a proper Slayer shot. So let's get back to the other counter and try it. I'm pretty sure this is gonna be tasty. All right, guys, let me swirl it up. Stir things up in here. Again, very aromatic. This coffee just has a lot of scent. It's a citrusy this time. I wouldn't call it an orange this time. I don't know. Definitely when I brewed it just now on the Tricolate, you got a lot of like orange, and it was very citrusy. But now as espresso, could be a different thing. So we'll see. Well, I hope all those angles, all that stuff worked out. I wonder how the workflow is gonna be for me to put this video together. But I think it's gonna be, moving forward, very interesting for you guys to be able to see the pressure profiling as it happens. As you saw, I mean, you can to me, it's super easy to control. You saw it did exactly what I wanted it to do. I had no problems. You know, the shot, maybe I might want to slow it down a little bit. meaning I'll grind a little bit finer. So I'm at 11. Maybe next time I go to, I don't know, between 11 and 10, call it 10.5. Okay, so I swirled it. It's time to taste it. Cheers. Flavor-wise, exactly the same. A lot of brightness, a lot of acidity, a lot of aroma. I would like to balance it a bit more with some sweetness. So obviously brew it slower. It's the only thing you could do. For those of you that are fanatics to that high brightness, high acidity coffees, maybe give this a try. Definitely a good one. It's very interesting flavor profile too. I gotta say, there's some depth to it, just like the other one. But that Costa Rican one, the one in the black bag, my favorite one. I've talked about that coffee so much here on the channel. There's plenty of videos. Look through it. You'll see that coffee if you haven't seen it yet. This one definitely really good. Totally different. Totally different. There's a lot more, I would say, citrusy. A lot more. And again, I'll report back just like I did today with the Ritual. I'll report back to you guys as far as this one as I slow it down. So I'm gonna definitely slow it down as espresso, and I'm gonna slow it down as my pour overs and report back, see if I get a bunch more sweetness out of it. I would definitely like it sweeter. For those of you that just absolutely enjoy the brightness and the acidity in the coffees, this could definitely be a good one for you guys. So check it out. A lot of aroma, for sure, a lot of aroma. For now, I will have to say citrusy, a lot of brightness and acidity. Beautiful coffee. So I'm gonna enjoy my last few sips here. Oh, something I haven't mentioned, but I did mean to mention it. I'm sure that if you guys are watching me, you're familiar with Hoon's Coffee. His channel, it's he does those lives, and I really enjoy watching him. And he's been like gone from YouTube now for a little bit. I gotta say, after I didn't see him for like a week, I sent him an email because I was like, man, did something happen to Hoon? Like, I hope not, but he did write back and said that he was okay, that he will be back in a few days. So I'm sure you guys, if you're watching me, it's very likely that you watch him as well. He also just sits down, chit chats, and talks about coffee. I really enjoy his videos, and it's one of the things that led me to, well, at first I started just like doing like tutorials or reviews on some of the equipment I had. But then one day I just ended up talking a whole bunch, and the video got super long, and I thought like, wow, I wonder if anybody's gonna like watch this whole video. And then that's when Jesse wrote back to me, and shout out to Jesse if you're watching. But he wrote back to me saying that he enjoys these kind of like long videos, just kind of talking about coffee and hanging out, So since I did as well, I said, wow, there's some people that enjoy it. I don't mind filming myself making coffee. I kind of like it. We're building this little club here. If it's your first time on one of my videos, welcome to the club. Please subscribe and join us here. We love to have you. And yeah, we try all these coffees. I review coffees, now it's become one of the main things that I've been doing, right? I review coffees. So we can always discover new roasters and new flavor profiles, maybe new processing methods and things like that are out there that make coffee interesting, So as a matter of fact, this whole Bay Area thing started because of the comments I got from Andrew, where he suggested that Sightglass and Ritual, and then it just turns out that we, had a trip out there, and the rest is history, let's just say. So yeah, this is wonderful. Absolutely. Anyway, I'm gonna let you guys go here because I don't wanna have to edit. I don't even know what's gonna happen with this. I'm using 3 cameras. I'm gonna have all kinds of clips. So I'm gonna finish enjoying this. I'll catch up with you guys next week. Thank you for watching. Please give the video a like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. I appreciate you guys a whole bunch. Like really the interaction that I get from you guys is what really keeps me making these videos. So comment something below. Let me know what you're brewing and I'll see you guys next week.